Lisa is an odd character in Genshin. Not only is she the most powerful mage in all of Mondstadt, she may very well have also been the most successful and strongest student to ever breeze through the Sumeru academia, or at least in modern records. Yet we find her stuck in the library sorting books, where the most excitement that she ever gets to see is just watching the travelers squirm after she teases them. Besides her terrifying good charm, Lisa has been dubbed to be one of the most scariest and strongest characters in all of the Windy City. And to be honest, I'd still rage a little bit over her being a 4-starred character, especially after learning of just how fast it was that she was able to breeze straight through obtaining knowledge and the insane level of power that she was able to obtain during her deep training at the Academia of Sumeru. And while we do already know that she is incredibly gifted, we would also come to find out that her schooling would suddenly come out of nowhere to an abrupt stop, where Lisa would go from being an academic legend to college dropout all within what seems like out of nowhere. Packing her bags and leaving her short notice, she would venture back to Mondstadt, seeking a quote-unquote much simpler life, free of large levels of labor or the pain of having to use exorbitant amount of magic just to solve her simple problems. But why the sudden change? What happened to Lisa during her time in Sumeru? Well, let's get into it. But first, my intro. Hello everyone, I am Sakai Samurai, and today we are looking into a topic that has always grabbed my interest. This is the perplexing story of Lisa's obsessive demand for more knowledge, and how that demanding hunger would suddenly come crashing to a sudden halt. But before I continue any further, I also just want to quickly say that we do have a Genshin lore nerd themed Discord server that you guys are also free to join, with character discussions, plenty of simping, and even co-op sessions planned in the future. So make sure to come grab a link down in the comment section. But anyways, anyone, enough haggling, let's continue. As mentioned earlier, Lisa in her younger years was much different than her current self, where she was not only incredibly motivated in the pursuit of learning magic, but she was also immensely gifted at learning this craft as well. Young Lisa once lived a life where she indeed inspired to become the most powerful and well-versed mage that the world would ever come to see, which would inevitably lead her down the road of seeking a pilgrimage to Sumeru. Funny enough, this academic tour wasn't really only in the pursuit of her wanting to learn more, but more than anything, it just seemed like a fun way for her to grow on her already known talents. Yes, she was that good. During her time at Sumeru, her schooling would be a breeze, with her absolutely dominating any task requested to her by the college, with her being claimed of her being one of the most gifted individuals to ever enter the school within the last 200 recording years. Though her time there would be limited. Eventually, in her chase to absorb more knowledge, it would become evident to her that she would indeed need a vision for her to reach the level of success that she had required, with her merely just stating out loud her need for such a divine blessing, where right out of thin air, she would receive one right into the palm of her hand. And I know, as funny as it is to think of just how easy it was for her to gain her vision, I think it's best to also remember that just how much she had already sacrificed to even be in the spot that she was to be able to claim such a device in the first place, and just how much knowledge she had to absorb to reach the point that she currently found herself in. Still, with her newfound blessing, she was able to tap into far more power than she had ever came close to having. Yet, while she did find what she was looking for, not everything may have been so sweet. If we look through Lisa's character stories, it's evident that somewhere along the line of her schooling, Lisa would inevitably grow incredibly dissatisfied by the demand for power, forfeiting her pilgrimage in Sumeru after a short, only 2-year-long trip. And not long after, she would leave her old life behind for her much more relaxed and even arguably lazy existence. But why? Well, there could be multiple reasons, but it's going to take a little bit of theory crafting here, so sit back. There is indeed no official reasoning behind her choice, but what we can wrap up from her character stories points to that she had simply had a change in faith, and that she only instead wished to pursue a much more stress-free existence, where she could relax and enjoy the luxuries of life without worrying that she was wasting her life away working. But there has to be a root cause for this, right? I mean, her drive was incredible. Well, let's take a look back at her vision story. Lisa admits that sometime after acquiring her vision that she couldn't help herself but wishing to learn everything possible about the strange device. Where she went into her research in the hopes of finding understanding, she instead would only find confusion and even fear. Her friendship level 6 story states that she sensed a deep secret hidden beneath the surface of the knowledge that she had wished to obtain. She would understand that these strange blessings were granted by the gods in an effort for mortals to possess the power for them to change the world. Though with such power may also possess a fearful cost, something that left Lisa worried and even afraid to understand. It is commonly believed that this is around the exact point that Lisa's life would change forever. And while it may not be directly described here, I think it is a safe bet to say that this was the main catalyst that forced Lisa into abandoning her academic pursuit while she was in Sumeru. Another popular theory from the community stems from an interesting interview that was given by a MiHoYo employee way back before the game had launched, where they would go on to claim that the character Lisa had touched a magical and powerful book when she was younger, and that it would grant her unspeakable levels of knowledge and wisdom. Though this information would also come with a cost, as this book would also cut Lisa's own lifespan directly in half. Which would explain why Lisa would go on to pursue the much more leisure-styled life that she lives now. And while at first this would seem legit, it's also worth noting that this interview was given way back before the game had even released, and that since then, huge amounts of the story of Genshin Impact that we all know today has been vastly changed and redirected since then. This seemingly incredible important bit of lore is also not mentioned anywhere at all within any of her character stories, or at least anywhere else that I could find online or over on her wiki page. But I will admit you can still possibly use this information as an answer behind some of Hoyo's vagueness when using her character descriptions. But again, I'll leave it up to you. Honestly, Lisa's backstory is just absurdly slept on, and it's easily one of the most intriguing stories ever laid out so far in the game. So think of this video as a guilty pleasure, because I love Lisa, for more reasons than one. But in all seriousness, what do you guys think that Lisa saw that frightened her like that? Was it the fear of devout dedication to an unknown cause? Was it a strange calling from Celestia for her to cease her quest for knowledge? Or could it be something much darker? Either way, everyone, feel free to drop everything down in the comments. If you made it this far, consider becoming a lore samurai today and hitting that subscribe button. I got some fun projects planned for the future surrounding all things Genshin Impact, and maybe even Honkai Star Rail in the future, so definitely don't miss out. Also, make sure to grab our community Discord link down in the comment section as well, so you guys can join in with the rest of us while we simp over our favorite characters. Just be warned, there's a lot of Dia. Anyways, everyone, thank you all just so much for watching, and as always, till next time, Samurai.